So we're just going to review an old game, and I'm going to review it from the point of view of Aegon, and I'm going to point out some mistakes. So, first mistake, that's not a mistake. But it is interesting to just watch from the back of him to see what he actually picks up on. So he gets to the Mansus. I know Aegon has a bit of a problem with these, so that's probably why he's cutting them. He's unsure on what exactly is what here. Cutting the 8-9, so he's kind of forcing the half flush early. You kind of don't want to do that from here. You're much more likely to get a 7-8-9, possibly a Chancer option. It'd be much better to get rid of the West Wind since one's been discarded and it's not his. After that, probably South, then East. And in this case, White Dragon, Red Dragon has all been played. He didn't call the Red Dragon, which is encouraging, because that means he wasn't just going all-out attack for this. You see, now that he's drawn the 6, that 8 is now a mistake to discard, and I have no idea why he'd discard the 8 from this position. Because he already has the 7-8-9 set. And from here, he discards the 2. So he seems to be throwing randomly, which probably makes sense given his game state. I'd say I've never reviewed one of his games before, so... I mean, in that case, that's a fine discard. It's just drawing what he discards. Whenever a player draws what he discards on this, it's just referred to as grey. I should really be commenting on other people's, but hey. So the only thing I think he's going for is just an all terminals hand, which is not very likely in the circumstances. He's lost his second West there. He discards the 5 out of that. Doesn't call the East Wind. I have no idea what Aegon's doing. If I didn't know better, I'd say he's disconnected here. In fact, that's the only logical explanation. Except I didn't think that players did this when they were disconnected. No, he's not disconnected. He called the second one. Ah! Diagnosing him through Mahjong reviews. We could probably do that. Yeah, this is true. Debbie, do you want to keep an eye on things? So that gets to 3 players. I will hop back in the queue. But currently, we're just going to dismantle his gameplay here. See, that's kind of useless. If he had the West earlier, maybe that'd be a 3rd. And he could arguably go for that. All triplets. Half flush. Nonsense. Alright, Kairo's Reach. So just examining Kairo's hand here, he actually didn't need to necessarily reach with this. He's got a concealed half flush on a 7 only. He could probably have waited on that or at least kept it hidden. There are plenty of 7s out there. He can't see any on the board. And it's his only dot discard, so it might have been better for him to try and hide that one. Just to try and force people to deal into him. Especially his half flush concealed is already free Han. So... no Dora, unfortunately, but he's already got the free hand, which I'd consider standard for a hand. Reaching gives him up to 4, potentially 5, so it gets him into Mungan range, which is not an insurmountable reason for doing it, but the fact that his hand is fairly obvious, and he would have drawn that. So just going back to this, if he'd have discarded the 8 from there, he'd have had a much better weight from this. Pair of 2s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so he'd have a middle 5 weight, I guess. Or... pair of 6s. Okay, actually, it might not have been all that better, actually. No, 7 would have been the better weight. So, counter reach from Draconis on the 7. So, from his point of view, he's just gone for a standard 2-sided pin through weight. And Aegon playing safe tile. Not. But Tenpai, free player Tenpai, moves on to hand 2. We're still going to follow Aegon, because this is abusing me. So get rid of the middle 7 first, rather than the spare tiles. There's an argument to say you should be keeping these, because they can obviously be bonus triplets, but I would be inclined to get rid of one of these 2, or the South at this point, even though the South is his bonus wind. Especially now one's been played. Instead, get rid of a 2 on the chain of here. You do not want to get rid of a chain of 4 tiles, because ultimately what you've got to consider that as, it's a 2-3, 2-sided weight, and a 4-5, 2-sided weight. Especially early game. Okay, so now it finally gets rid of a South, but if you'd have discarded this the reverse order, or discarded that. So we imagine the 2 and the 7 are still in his hand, and one of these, his hand looks much better. Discard the 1. There are more options available, and in early Mahjong, it's all about... oh, this is free. Okay, thank you for that. I'm going to exit this, and I'm going to join the game. But yeah, we're going to have to review We're going to have to go back and review his hand. Also, JPB has arrived. Hello, sir. I was just doing some nonsense examining Agen's hand, but yep, we score again, and he returns. So, myself, JPB, Kung Pao Devi, and Agen, with Agen as dealer. I'm not sure he's aware the game has started. No, he's aware. Discards his wind on the starting discard. If his hand is only that on a tile, then that makes some small sense.
Boom.
Agen on the attack. I wonder if he's been listening. If he makes a double call, actually, his discard might not be all that bad. Going for a flat half flush Chinitsu off the start. Not going to call anything just yet. And again, we're getting rid of a south. It's useless win to us. But it is JPB's win, and he can call that. So, plan just to be calm and collected and just see what we can do from here. So I get a 9 over the green dragon at the moment. We want to get rid of that in the next 2 or 3 discards unless we can, well, I'll just hold on to it. But it's not doing a lot for us in the hand, in all honesty. It's looking to be Pinfu, maybe. Tanyo doesn't seem likely with what we've got. It's not a very good hand, although we do have a door. If we can pair the second door in, then the hand improves a great deal. That also kills Tanyo, so we might well be looking for these bonus tiles, but we'll get rid of that now. Last chance to get rid of it safely. So draw a 7. Toss that. Wrong 7, but still we toss for 2 because it's the most useless tile to us at this stage. So 8, drop 1, puts us 1 away from reach only with a door. And we've got to consider JPP and Tenpai now. He's called from there. That's the 8 we needed. Let's go and get rid of a 9 since it's safe up top and also it's opening up the hand a little bit. So draw a 5 that gives us potentially Ipeiko Doradora. Or double run 2 Dora with actually the red Dora there already, so maybe. Reach on the 7. Well, we have a couple of safe tiles here, so we'll use those up for the time being. So what's Debbie likely waiting on? Probably not Manzu, so we've probably got 2 other safe tiles here. I would guess likely a mid Sozu or pin or dot weight here. 5 discarded quite maybe a couple of turns before she did that, so I'd guesstimate it's probably in the dot range rather than the Sozu range. But that's the best read I can make based on other game states. That is a red 5 being discarded, and that is a half flush up top. So south, half flush, red Dora. And Mungan for the dealer. Oh, Mungan for the new dealer. Sorry, he wasn't dealer at that point. Okay, we'll get rid of East rather than Green Dragon here, because East is obviously a double bonus tile, if he calls it. Single bonus tile for each of these. It's slightly more dodgy than these to get rid of, so. Yeah, and it's just in case to get rid of the Honors development, and then we'll see what we can do with it, but it's not the greatest of starting hands. Couple of things we can draw to help out. If we get a 4 here and get one of the end rates there, we're prepared to draw that rather than have that discarded, but hey. South again, which somebody can call. Yep, Debbie calls it. So again, I've discarded the Yaku High, or bonus triplet. So she's sitting south, that is worth 1. It is also her Yaku, so she doesn't need to qualify for any other hand requirements to win. And because she's got that, she can pretty much call whatever she wants to try and advance the hand. It's always worth securing the Yaku before you go calling mad, but or at least have a very good idea of what you're aiming for. I've drawn a second green dragon. I've drawn on a tile, on a tile, on a tile, on a tile this point, so I'm not looking very likely to advance the hand very far here. Actually, no, tell a lie, I did draw a 1. Okay, we want to keep the red dragon because it's now got quite late into the game here, but we'll discard the 8. We're kind of mirroring safe suit on this side, and I'm guessing Sozu half flush is the most likely hand Debbie's got. Or at least the most likely hand that worries us from this position. I should be honest with that. So we're going to have a 9 on the basis it's the hardest one for her to call. But that is my guesstimation with this.
Each.
Okay, reach up top. Again, hasn't discarded any Sozu, but probably has a tile near the middle dots, either in his suit or there. So we want to stay away from the middle a little bit. White Dragon's safe, unless he was on a White Dragon pair weight, which would have been unlikely.
Chi.
Okay, well that kills off what I was planning for that hand. She can attack, of course, because she's got that, but I'm going to play 5 dot, which might not be safe as I thought it was. It's safe up top, it's not safe to the left. Because they have a tile from the discard, they're not allowed to win off if one of their winning tiles is in their discard pool. They can't win with that. So 4 dot, we're going to mirror that as well. Reach, you must win off your winning tile, otherwise you can only self-draw it. So this is why we know the 4 is definitely safe up top. Okay, so North was played. North should be fine. Debbie obviously has the ability to change her weights up, so that wasn't necessarily as guaranteed as this one. But given there were 3 of them that I could see, it was. And yeah, we are playing evasively for the moment, just because we are unsure on hand value. Egan has also decided to join the party with a reach here. So 7 should be safe to the right. It's not necessarily safe to the left, though. I'm going to actually discard the 9 again, but that's done it. Riichi Patsu. So he was on a pair weight for 7 and 9, and actually got double Dora with that as well. So I've dealt into a Hanuman. We're off to a flyer. Okay. This is a better starting hand, but we'll see what comes of it. So South is mine, but I'm going to get rid of that anyway. It's the only honor tile we've got, so we're not looking to have that sort of hand right now. Also, 1 was just played, so there is always that aspect to it as well. There's very little point in holding on to a second one if you've only got the 1. The one's already out, just because it's unlikely you'll draw the pair, and then you're waiting on one last tile of that sort to get you out of trouble. Now, we got rid of the middle one here first, probably because we're more likely to be going towards the edge with this hand, but discarding middle tiles in a suit isn't usually a typically good idea. And again, same justification of getting rid of a South. It's around the honor tile, so we shall get rid of it at this stage. Also, East, so that wasn't going to pay off anyway. Okay, 8 wouldn't have been a bad draw, so 3. Let's get rid of a 9 at this point. So our most likely winning hand shapes at the moment probably revolve around a low Sanshku. Most likely it's going to be pin through Sanshku of some kind if we get this into the ideal position. But at this stage we're just hoping to get to our dealer turn and then be able to do some stuff. So a couple of specific draws get us to Tenpai here, so we're not all in doom and gloom just yet. And that's helpful enough. I want to get rid of the 3 here, but it's probably more correct to get rid of a 9. We lose the ability to go Chanter, but with the middle sequence it's looking unlikely. And of course, if we draw a 2, we can incorporate Vidora, so... Red Dragon. A couple of reds already out, so that's perfectly fine. Okay, and another South, which isn't helpful. So, best draw right now, get that 2. Get rid of a South, then get the last 2, put us into a pin through weight on the 3-6. Inevitably it won't happen that way round, but that's the ideal. Yeah, what did I tell you? Inevitably, it will happen the other way around. All right, let's get rid of the 1-3 then. Because we want to incorporate Vidora if we can, but we will abandon this if it comes to it for a reach. If we can get a... Yeah, we're still 2 away, I think. Two would be helpful, of course, because it sorts out our double pair situation we got going on right now. Drawing another 1 would actually be fine, because that potentially opens up the 2-3 pair something weight. Okay, so that's our 3-sided weight there. So unfortunately, it'd be for a 10 because we've discarded the 9. And as I said earlier, if we've discarded a tile that can be one of our winners, we can't win off another player's discard. So we're approaching through a 10, which is the technical term for that term I mentioned. And I think it might just be a case of through a 10, stay in Tempai. Alright, that might help. Going to dump a 1 here. So my plan is to try and convert the hand a little bit. Maybe switch it into something that isn't waiting on the 9. So I see 2-2. So Dora played, Dora played. And there we go, that's Tempai. Waiting on that. The 8 is not safe, however. And we'd only be waiting on another Dora tile. I'm going to go with it, though. So there's 2 winners left, potentially.
Each.
Yeah, we're going to go for it. This is kind of a low-risk scenario in this case. We're in last place. We're going to take the gamble. 2 safe tiles. Safe tile, effectively. So, 2 might come out. I'm not expecting it to, but there's only a few hands to go. I'm basically banking on the opportunity cost here. If I deal in, it's going to be a problem, but we're banking on the safe tile to our right. It was very likely to be a winning tile for there, but no. So our weight was effectively dead from there, and we dealt into another Hanneman. And now we're into an interesting situation where we have no points. So I need to win this hand without any Yaku. Well, without a reach, basically. But we've done back from worse. Well, actually, we haven't. That being said, the hand is ridiculously quick. Problem with it is it doesn't have a Yaku. Not an easy one, anyway. I mean, Pinfu is probably a likely thing to happen, but... Alright, so we're basically looking at Pinfu, which is all runs. So we need, basically, run, waiting on a 2-sided run with a pair. So we want to pair up a 9 of a 6 there, and that'll get us into this game. Pair up the 3 would be ideal, because that's, of course, for Dora. But we're not out of this yet. We just got to play this carefully. I feel it was correct to go for it, even though it didn't end up working for us, but... Last place, you take risks. That's the way it goes, but we're not even going to last to East 4 here. Alright, Agen's trying to finish the game off, which is not what he wants to do when he's in 3rd place and not going to actually matter at this point.
Each.
And Debbie is on fire here, so this is a winning reach if she can pull this off. I, of course, have no choice but to go for this. I don't mind if Debbie wins off another player, but I've kind of got to go for this. I've got no choice but to attack, because if I don't get to Tempai, I lose anyway. Because during the draw state, players in Tempai pay points to players who aren't 1 away from winning pay points to anybody who isn't. So I would lose out on that deal. Therefore, even though these are risky, we're going to have to play them anyway. So, best bet for me right now. There we go. I needed to pair something. Didn't have to necessarily be this, But it means now we're getting close. That is near perfect. Okay. Let's get rid of 3. That passed. So now we're looking at... If we can get one more sequence, then we have Ipeiko, Pinfu. Ipeiko, Pinfu, Red Dora, Dora. Four, 7. Perfect. Okay. Pinfu, 4, 7. 4 gives us more points if it comes off, but 4 or 7 is a winning tile for us right now. Problem is we have to play everything. 9? Nope. What's Debbie waiting on, though? I didn't even bother looking because I had to attack this. Something to consider. Half CG. Middle tile of a 2 would be perfect. Alright. Pinfu, Ipeiko, Dora Dora. Dealer turn, and this is a ridiculously good hand. Alright, so what we're going to be doing here is calling triplets like mad. This is one of those perfect sort of hands where you have all of the pairs in hand. One of them is a bonus tile. Your dealer, you need to be aggressive, and I'm going to be aggressive. So we're going to call everything, go all triplets with the dragon backup. This is where comeback stories are made. Let's see what we can do. South as well. Okay, that is perfect. So now it's just a case of call, draw. All triplets, dragon. Could even potentially half flush this if we were being very greedy. I might lean into the half flush angle here. Depends how quickly these come off. We'll stick with this, but if we get the north, we're going half flush. Okay, north seems unlikely now. One's been played. Reach across the table. Now that might slow me up a little bit. East has been called. We'll follow the 9. So you have to play a bit safe around this. We can still be knocked out if he's got a Mungan. Well, actually, it has to be a Hanneman at this point. South 8-6. Ah, that was the least likely one to come off as well, and that's unfortunately killed my dealer turn at the wrong moment. So it was a preemptive reach. He didn't go for anything bigger than he had, and he could have easily waited for a Pinfu on that, but wanted to take me off a dealer turn before I started building up momentum. Alright, well, that puts him into first place. South 1, and now I draw a triplet of Easts, which are no longer a bonus tile in this round. Still, we'll see what we can do with them. North is our bonus tile. We'll see. I mean, in fairness, I'm probably discarding it unless I get another one. Well, I said probably. But that is slightly more worthless to me than this is. Yeah, one's been played, so we are not considering that anymore. So 4 hands to go, really. Obviously with repeats if the dealer keeps winning them. Green Dragon's live. I'm actually going to keep hold of that, and we'll get rid of a 2 here over the 1 for no reason I can actually discern. 1 was probably a better discard, but only marginal. It's still one of the external tiles. There's less things that can interact with it, or less things that are useful if I draw it in sequence. That, however, would have been one of them. So we've been punished for making the wrong decision there. If I discarded this instead, we now have a pair of 2s and could potentially be looking at triplets. And that would have been helpful on that as well. Okay, well, the thing with it, Mahjong, is when you make a mistake, don't make the mistake of trying to backpedal. Backpedaling is always worse because you end up more likely putting yourself into throw attempt positions where you then can't win off other people's discards or you'll need very specific requirements. By just culling low Manzu now, we're making the hand better for later. Because we don't have floating 2 1s in our hands that are being generally useless. Alright, don't need to call that. If we were closer to a triplets position like we were in the last hand, we'd definitely do that. For now, though, we want to stay as close as possible to just a concealed hand that is reasonable. Here, though, we've got some difficult decisions to make, and I think we're going to cut the 7, keep the pair. Draw 5 gives us sequence and a waiting set there, stumping another 5. We might get rid of the green dragon at some point soon, but we'll worry about that a little later. And we'll hope we can eventually draw a green. We also probably don't want to be discarding too many more of the Manzu tiles if we can avoid it.
Wrong.
Okay, Debbie takes a win off of Vagan. Only 1,000 points, so all simples, so no 1s, 9s, or runners. Cheap hand moves the table along, 1 hand closer to the end of the game, which is not what I wanted, I'll be honest. Alright, so in this situation, the hand's kind of doomed. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 terminals of different types here. So I think we're going to have to go with a hand that doesn't usually work. Kokushimaso. Basically one of every 1, 9, or honor tile. Plus 1 pair. We are 5 tiles away from it. The chances of this coming off are remote. But it's honestly the best we can do right now. So I need to draw east, red dragon, north, 1 and 9, so 1 and 9 man rather. And also, as we slowly see tiles disappearing, we know that the chances of this goes down and down. So see a 1, a 9, 2 norths. It's not dead yet, though that's getting there. If it becomes dead, then pretty much we have to go into the half flush with the dot tiles. Is our only backup plan. But we're already losing quite a lot of our tiles out there. Okay, so if we draw a 1, that'd be quite useful, because that gives us the backup plan of going for something like a Chance of Sanchiku, but we're still miles away from it. 9 says fine. Nothing's dead yet, but the longer we go without drawing useful tiles, the worse this gets for us here. I think we're going to have to go all in on this plan. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. With 6 played. So 5 more tiles. Well, 4 more draws and 1 deal in would be fine. Kokushimaso. I can tell you now, the odds of this are not good. Somebody's got a pair of 9s, for example. It's already dead. There's only 1 red dragon left now. So, yeah. There we go. It's dead. So, with that having happened, we now have to completely change tact. We can't win on this hand because all 4 red dragons are now out. Just one of the many reasons this never works. So now we're looking for a Chanter, not necessarily half flush anymore with what we got here, but Chanter Pinfu. But more likely than not, we're just trying to wait out the game, get to the end, hope that the table rotates a little bit, or that we get a freebie. Okay, Pair of East doesn't actually do anything for us at this point, but we can play the South reasonably safely. Green dragon we could also play if we had to. 2 of those are gone.
Riichi.
Okay, non-dealer reach from Debbie. We will follow on the white dragon. Okay, both the players were worried about playing the green dragon, so that's fine.
Long.
And that's a deal in. So Debbie picks up a reach Pinfu. I was about to say Reach Pinfu Sashiki. That's not quite it. Reach Pinfu Dora. Okay, so I'm still in a bit of a problem here, and actually Aiden losing points isn't really helpful to me. Although he's still got more than I have, so maybe it's not all that bad. Alright, so this hand is a little less extreme than my last one. Hoping to pair up the 1, maybe get a triplet of that, and we'll see what happens. But ultimately, we just need wins. Free would be useful, allow us to incorporate that Dora we got. There we go. Alright, we'll get rid of a 9-8 on this side then. Glad you approve. Glad you approve. Alright, so our plan is just to get a Pinfu hand that allows us to take the dealership and then see where we are with things. But yeah, I got into 2 Hannemans in a row, got to 0 points, and we're still in the game. Fortunately, we've only won that 1 hand off of Aiden. Could deal with a few more points. Can't take that at the moment. We also have 2 pairs I've noticed in this hand. That's a good draw. Alright, so we're 1 away from Tenpai. 7 would be an okay incidental draw because that gives us the 3-sided weight up here. 4 would be an okay draw. We'll just get rid of one of our pairs, most likely the 8s. Yeah, we'll get rid of the 8s now. So if we draw either side of this, we get a 3-sided weight. Actually, we get... Yeah, we do. We do.
Chi.
Okay, Debbie's on the attack. Let's get rid of the 5 now, because it's probably the most opportune time to do it with a Sozu call. Also with backup pair in case we need it. I suppose we've also got an incidental route into Sanchiku. 2 dot not helpful. Potentially useful. Let's get rid of another 8. So we're banking a little bit on this because this gives us a possibility of another run. And we do have a pair secured with the 2s possibly anyway. This hand is going all over the place, actually. What's safest? That's probably safest.
Riichi.
Alright, 7 drawn. So that gives me pair run, pair run. I go for a 2. Which is a safe tile to Aiden. So getting rid of a 6 dot here is going to be the challenge because that's what I'm going to need to do to hit Tenpai. White Dragon's fine. Are they going to drop a 6 dot?
Long.
Okay, Aiden picks up some points. Unfortunately, not many of them. Reach Dora only. Alright, last dealer turn, and I need a bit of a rampage to come back into this game now. So, let's see what we can do. Draw either of the dragons who are in the game. Green dragon's gone, so we'll get rid of that next. Unless we happen to draw another one, which I've done before. I've discarded it before realizing I was just drawing another. That's fine. Red dragon as well. So I'm guessing after that it's going to be Tanyo attack. That's a good draw, though. All right, so we're now 1 away from pin. No, it wouldn't be pin. Actually, 7. Yeah, 7 Pinfu attack. So draw the 7. So here we have Pinfu. Other than that, we're probably going to have to cull the 9s and see what we can do here. Do I keep or do I switch? I think I'm going to switch to Tanyo if I can. There's an awkward rule where you can't discard a tile that you could have called. So if I call 6, 7, 8, for example, I can't then discard 9. If I draw 9, that incidentally, though, that's not a problem. Or if I do this. This might backfire because this really puts me at risk for a 10 here. But I need to go for it. I don't want to do that. No, I need Tanyo. I need Tanyo. Alright. Well, let's cull that. Make sure that's definitely not going to backfire on us. But now we need a 4. We're chasing a little bit, but we want to be aggressive. We want to try and force this game if we can. I can also call the freeze and me and Tempai on the 6 at the very worst, but... But in this case, I just need to keep the game going. Everything else is kind of secondary, and the easiest way for me to keep the game going is to, you know, keep the game going by winning. If they dump the 4, I could just do that, discard the 7, then get rid of the 1 on the next turn. Like that. So I can call either of these tiles if they come up. I prefer to call the 6 here because it actually starts looking like a Yakuman hand, actually. But I doubt that's going to bother any of these except possibly JPV. Okay, Tempai, 3-6. It's unfortunate, and it's only 1,000 points. But that's game. I'm going to claim that was the Yakuman. I have to claim it. It's not going to be, though. Alright, so I start our tracking of scores again by going to -42. And I'm just going to join into the next game. I mean, we don't know who he is, so it might not be that impressive, but yeah, you beat him. It's a good game overall, actually. I just unfortunately had the misfortune to deal into 2 Hannemans quite early on. And then Agen sniping that with that, but you know. Yeah, it was South Force. Unless I won, the game wasn't going to continue. That's why I was pushing a little bit. Technically speaking, I had 3 calls on for a Yakuman from there. Because All Greens is a Yakuman. It's a very obscure one. But I obviously hadn't got the last bit of it complete in my hand. But you weren't to know that. You weren't to know that. All Greens would have been a fair result, actually. That would have also swept the game to my favour, or a dealer Yakuman, whatever else. But I thought about it earlier. Yes, the game is going to be recorded on my spreadsheet. This is what I said I was going to start doing again. However, if there's not that many games, then it's not really going to be all that impressive a spreadsheet, is it? Do we know where Kyrill's gotten to, or is he just AFK for the evening? So no, he was around. Yeah, I'm aware of that. He's been doing that for about half an hour, so, you know. That's because he started the thing, and now he's walked away from his desk, or whatever is happening. Or it's a bug. So, you know, that can happen. It's likely just a bug, sir. And we still have 4 people in the lobby. It might end up being the same 4 fighting again in a moment. But in the meantime, what I should probably get back to doing is what I was doing before we started. And, you know, commenting on Aegon's gameplay. This is for anyone to play if you wish to join. I have a link somewhere for that. But yeah, this is versus chat, so these are fully open. We do ask, however, that you, if you are planning on taking part, that you mute the stream. But you are more than welcome to join. Let me just send the link out. We did record the results in the spreadsheet as of this one. Yeah, I was commenting on your mad opening discards from the last game that you played on this. I was making quite bad commentary on yours, in fairness. But anyway. Let's move on. So we have second down and a bunch of cues. So, thank you very much, sir. Feel free to comment in the chat. Is free game. Chat is free game if you want, though. Or if you need to left Steam. Continue after the game. Alright, let's go with a dragon to start with. Alright, Twix calling a dragon. Let's throw a second dragon. So there's always the risk that somebody will call the early dragons, but I normally find that that just kind of restricts the hand a little bit. They don't have to... I mean, they can call everything, so I guess it doesn't restrict, but it limits the value of the hand they could potentially win with. Okay, let's discard East, my third honor tile discard of the start of the game. And see what we get from this. So Aegon is discarding madly again. And I've just drawn another East in a row. So I've had a great start to things. If I was playing Tetsuya or something similar, this would be my flow just going all the way down. Well, it could have been. Could have been. That's what he wanted to do. That's what he wanted to do. I'm sure it was an important 5 to state out there. Or a ridiculously huge number. One or the other. Okay, so looking at our hand here, we've got a reasonable bridge to pin to. Quite a lot of runs already set up. Well, runs potentially in set up. Actually, this isn't a good hand at all. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm talking waffle as I normally do. 3 pairs, but nothing massively exciting. I suppose I could try for 7 pairs at this point. It's a bit late to go for it, but it looks like my best hope of getting any hand at this stage. And I suppose the dots are close enough together that I could potentially string some sequences out of them. If I draw a 3, for example, here, that would help. If I draw a 2 there as well. But that is another fair. Let's go for it. Chiral cheers! Hooray, I wouldn't cheer too much. I went down to 0 points, got a Mungan comeback, and then Aegon finished things off. So, you know, 5! Alright, so 1 away from 7 pairs. Unfortunately, we don't have any Dora with this, but... And we've already discarded a pair of East, which is never a good sign for a 7 pairs hand. But we can potentially have 7 pairs Tanyo. So with Riichi, that would be Mungan. Alright, 1 is less likely to be a pair because of things, and also it helps us towards Tanyo as a backup plan. Potentially call a couple of things and get there. Khan of Dragons. Well, now we're definitely calling Riichi if we get this last one. So 5 dot, 6 dot, or 6 so. I have to consider that our opponent there is in Tempai. Oh dear God. Well, this is a thing. Only reason I'm discarding that is because there's so many random tiles around this. I'd almost want to call that and try and secure things. So this game has gotten a little mad.
Han.
Well, I could have my first Yakumin if I get the reach here. If there's a fourth Khan, it does end in a draw. To be fair, if I reach from here, this is just going to be a... I would be looking at 8 Dora tiles. None of these are mine particularly, but... West Wind. Should be fine. It's a single weight if anybody's on it. So if I call that... No, because I'm so it's too awkward to get to Tenpai if I call things. Still going to go for this. So call, toss that. I can't get to Tenpai. Yeah, my only hope of getting there was to be to take the last one. So all player, no 10. So the hand moves on to East 2. Points remain the same. This is actually a good starting hand. So we have our setup there. It's a reasonably quick one. Not going to give us a lot of value, but we already have our concealed triplet as well, which is nice. So we can potentially go Reach Dragon and something. Drawing a 3 dot would be fine. Drawing another 2 so would be fine. Nine dot can go away. Okay, 2 dots helpful. So we're currently looking at just calling, grabbing the last triplets here. If I draw another one, I might go for Toy Toy and Dragon. Just enough to just push me that little bit ahead, make up some ground on my losses there. White Dragon's still alive. Let's keep White Dragon, actually. Middle 5 is an interesting discard this early on, but especially as I technically have useful things I could move with it, but I'm more likely going into triplets anyway, so... Yep, we're in triplets. So the plan is call everything. And hope that somebody finally plays one of the things that is useful to me. I mean, if I draw things there, that makes it better in many ways, but...
Khan.
Megan has found the Khan button. The good news with this setup is that he's given me 2 Dora. I also have the dragon, so I can call whatever I want without worrying about these sorts of things.
Riichi.
No. This is you being silly, sir. I mean, the guard button is right there. I do concede this point. So here's an awkward one for me, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to discard the 6 for now. You don't have to push it. It's an error. Do I want to gamble on this? It would be a gamble, so I'm going to take the safe route for the moment. We're also not going to add to our misery here. 8 safe. He's also the dealer, so of course if I make a risky play into that, it does cost me. One east has been played, so it wasn't entirely unsafe, but I'll probably call the 4 if it comes up. Problem is, he could easily be winning on that 5, even with all his dot discards before the reach. Yeah, we can't afford to discard a door in this situation, and that's the other way I could probably take this.
G.
Egan's about to deal in. We kind of hope he does, because, you know, if you play like that, that's got to happen. Red Dragon was after the reach. 2 of them out. Okay. So he could be waiting on something awkward.
Boom.
I've got to take it. It's Dora free with dragons. East, though, is the one that's worrying me to get rid of.
Dom.
But mind you, that could happen. So it was basically a double pair weight, but that could have been worse. Would have been an okay hand for me, actually. Toy Dora free dragon. That would have been Hanneman. But that could have been worse. He didn't get that much in the grand scheme of things. 2,700 is not a high value of points. My hand was certainly better. But the best hand does not win at Mahjong. That is the important thing to know. And it's why you maximize chances rather than maximizing value where possible. Bit of both if you can. But okay, draw a 3, dump the 9. Basically in a double pair weight from there. No value hand, but not a lot of easy ways to improve that. And we'll play it safe and get rid of a dragon here. Okay, that doesn't help me. 7 potentially does. I'm kind of inclined to get rid of the edge weight here, but I think we'll get rid of the 9 for now, because at least we've got the pair in sequence. This is a completed area. The 3 could potentially still be drawn. Give us the pin through here, getting rid of the 2-7. 2 away. 1 away. I'm going to get rid of the 1-2 at this point, because while we have a closed weight here, this can be extended in either direction. And a 3 basically gives us the immediate double pair weight. Not ideal, but it'd also be Tanyo. So Tanyo double pair. So yeah, Tanyo only. Okay, that's very useful. So 7, 7, 3. Maybe get rid of a couple of bits there. Maybe stretch it to the possible Itsu, but another pair. Not sure we can do a lot with that one. All right, let's dump the 7s now. Let's see if we can put this into a better position for us. It's still Tanyo. We still have the pair there. It doesn't fundamentally make a difference which one of these two it is, but potentially we can get some longer weight patterns if we can get this Sosu side set up. So Agen calls away. It's worth noting we can also call with this hand, because it doesn't really affect the value too much. It's just if we get Tanyo reach, we can also win off the 9, which would be reach only, but okay. Double pair weight on the 1-2 on the 2-7 then. We can't actually win right now. We don't have a Yaku set up, but we got a double call from Agen that we concern ourselves with. And while I don't believe he's on a full flush, he's annoyingly difficult to read with that. If I draw a 3 or a 1, I'd probably reach on the Itsu. I could play the 7. It's a bit dodgy. This is the only reason I'm considering doing the reach here.
Riichi.
Yeah, 4's safer. It doesn't actually change the hand up that much, but this is a nothing in value hand.
Riichi.
Well, I feel less confident now that Egan's called that. Also, Egan and Debbie have switched sides. That's why I'm slightly concerned and keep calling Debbie's tiles the thing here. Alright, Egan gets another Riichi with 2 red Dora. Unfortunate, but that was a better weight than mine, arguably. Alright, so Egan now dealer. We have a pair of Salves, which are our wind, so some progression and possible plans from here. White Dragon to start. South 7, 6. Not much we can do with the triplets here, I don't think, unless we get another one. Or if we had, if these were 4s, then triplets was definitely a plan. Anytime you get a pair of Adora, absolutely you want to consider triplets. Or let's get rid of the 5. It's an isolated tile, but now we're up to 4. Maybe triplets is the plan. I know I changed my mind immediately, but Mahjong is a situational game at heart, and the situation changes quite rapidly. We've also got a potential half flush, of course, if we got an 8, say. Maybe. I guess let's move towards that half flush, actually. Egan's in the lead, and the value isn't insubstantial. We got a dealer turn next, after all. But I'm thinking we might be able to do the half flush easier than the triplets. Especially since I've now missed one. I also don't want to gamble on triplets and then fail if, for example, we don't get the last South. So I prefer to get that one first. But if I've got a 5th pair, then absolutely. That's why I will keep the Red Dragon, because that's a nice incidental tile something to work on. Yeah, we get not too many tiles to consider half flush at this stage. 6 is fine, 9 is fine, Red Dragon is fine, 5 is fine. Yeah, let's get rid of the 9s. Because also this gives us a couple of potential runs that we could make this into South with a 2-sided weight. Whichever way we're going, the 1's the right tile to get rid of here. We're holding on to the red for the moment because until we get a confirmation it's safe or we can pair it up, it's what we have to do. Okay, there we go. So 4-4. I think this means we are definitely moving towards the 7 pairs or toy angle. So let's see what we can do with this. 1-7's been played, so we'll probably get rid of that next. Okay, Dora. 7 pairs Dora would be extremely nice. So red 4-5. Or we can start calling some triplets. But ultimately the one triplet we'd start with is South. We can see a few of ours are still left. So really it's just the 6 that Egan played. And everything else is still alive for triplets. And even that isn't actually dead for triplets. That, however, is a pain. Depending on what we have to get rid of here. Because 4-5 and red are not nice tiles to get into that board. 6 dot's not nice either, but it's probably safer than anything else we want to discard.
Dom.
Okay, and that ends that one. So, Reach Pinfu. 38, 39, and I am now the dealer, and that is not a good hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, well, we're not going to commit, but we'll consider. But we definitely haven't committed here. Well, the good news is discarding the terminals that I don't care about for the moment. Alright, this is our last turn of this, and 2 might be the wrong discard in this position, but it's our last turn before divering before we go with this. If I get another one, then I'm going for it. If I don't, I'm going to diver some more, and then it won't be the last turn of divering. Alright, 8's useless. For as long as we... I mean, actually, it could have been useful to hold on to. Maybe go for an outside Sanch cube, but... Alright, north, north, north. That's pretty much killing that one off fast, so... So maybe it's worth just trying to play this out now. So we need the last north. And quite a few other things besides, actually. I think this is what we consider a folding hand here, which is a real pain from the dealer turn. Okay. Yeah, we're folding the Kokushi here. We are looking towards Sanch Cube, potentially. Yeah, I mean, I'd potentially be interested in calling that for an outside hand.
Boom. Boom.
Well, that's a thing. Problem with folding a Kokushi. Inevitably, you've got things other people want. We can win on Dragon only, but... Okay, 9-9. Get rid of R9 here. So we kind of got the same setup on both ends at this stage, but ultimately we only care about just finishing the hand here. We'll take an Haku only. White Dragon only, I mean. I'm trying to think about exactly where we'd be with the other situations.
Boom.
Yeah, calling that. Okay. Okay, Tenpai, 9-6. Single 9 left, 3 6s left, but we have Tenpai. That'll do. Alright, Haku only. From a Kokushi hand, that's not a bad result. Oh dear god, this is a rewarding hand. Alright, so half flush Daisangan. Well, likely it's going to be half flush dragons, but half flush potential Daisangan. Any hand you start with 5, gotta consider it. Okay, East is played. We'll get rid of ours. Also, we've got a potential free we can draw there, or call anyway. This is the type of hand you would call with this anyway, because we've only got the one external tile, half flush is on. But, Daisangan. Also, it's a door, so, you know, there's that.
Chi.
Okay, Debbie's attacking, which I don't like with this particular hand, but we'll see. Probably going for a Tanyo, which means we need to get rid of this 7 soon.
Chi.
Yeah, we're going to lean into this half flush at this point at the moment here. I realize Daisangan is on, but we're not going to be distracted by that. We need the win as dealer. So half flush dragons with Dora is definitely the plan. Of course, Dragon Call would be fine. We'll take it, but getting that last green would be the only thing that would now divert us from what we're doing.
Boom.
Yeah, Debbie's definitely going for an inside hand. That's sweet. Okay. So we just now need to call one of our pairs here. Daisangan is done. Dora discards from there as well.
Boom.
Alright, so half flush, dragon, double, Dora. Red 5 and 1. Which is not a bad little dealer hand, actually, if this comes off. Ah, that's a pain. Debbie did discard 2 of those, actually, so that might not be too bad. But the question is, will anybody discard either of those 2 dragons? I mean, I'm guessing Aegon might, but you could easily be waiting on these as well. Which is fine. If we're to stand off over dragons, I'll take it at this position, but this is a good hand to win with if it to come off. He's going to be desperate and try for it anyway. So I think Debbie's folding against a half flush. You haven't discarded any Manzu in 6 tiles. 7 seems risky. I reckon you're going for it, which means you might have the dragon. Might discard the dragon if you decide to go for it. Depends how big your hand is, I guess. Don't mind somebody calling and going for, yeah.
Boom.
There we go. Half flush, dragon, Dora, Dealamungan, and Debbie is busted out with that, so I go to 47, and we take a result. GG. Rise has resurrected from the dead! Well, let's find out whether I've actually missed the boat here, or... No, but I think I have. How are you doing? mean, I kind of feel like that as well. In the first game, I did go down to 0 points, 2 Hanneman deal-ins in a row, but... But either way, good to see you again, Rise. Yes, you kind of need to learn how the game works, I think, at this point. Alright, so we have the JPC, we have the Chiral, we have the Aegon, and we have the McFoo. In my third game for the night. So, let's see what we got here. I'm sitting south. No, it doesn't open up with a dice Ungen. It's a shame, but working life is unfortunately what it is, sir.
Home.
And Aegon immediately calls for 9s. Okay then. So the hand's quite good. We've got the Red Dragon for backup in what we're doing, and other than that, it's looking very good for all runs. So that's what we're going first. Oh, we've got the Dragon actually. So, okay, we don't care about all runs anymore. We just care about some value. The only value we could get now is for North Winds, so we're not likely to get too much beyond this. We'll probably just call and just take a quick hand to become dealer next turn. So yeah, we have pair, we have a couple of runs we can call if we need to. So 9-6, 3-6 from Chiral, and we will be nicely there. You can also reach Dragon, I suppose. There's not a lot of point in going around that if it comes off. Also, this gives us another thing we could potentially call, I guess. Call the 8, discard the 4, but that doesn't actually get us there, so maybe it doesn't. Nah, that's still not useful to us, actually. Didn't make a difference.
Chi.
Okay, we're in Tempai on the 6-9, although all the 9s are gone, so don't know if this is a good weight to be on. I'll think about that one a bit. It'd be better if I drew another 7 or an 8. Actually, well, it'd be slightly better. Winning tiles would be 4 versus 4 because all the 6s are still out, so...
Wrong.
And Aegon gives me the win anyway. So, Dragon only. And I am now the dealer. Yeah, it was cheap, but, you know, I'm now the dealer.
Home.
Were you listening in, Aegon? Are you cheating? Because if you heard anything, that's cheating, sir. That was the point where he says, no, I can't hear you. Okay, so we're one away from another pin-through hand here, which wouldn't be bad as dealer in all fairness. Prefer to get the 5, of course, but we can make do without that if we needed to. Probably get rid of the 9s in sequence if we can, get us the Tanyo. And again, I can't call that and get rid of a 9 in that case. I could have called it and got rid of this 9, actually, and done that next turn, which would have been better and probably the way I should have done that. But this gives us this keeps us with the options. There's still a chance we can draw that 5. Trying to work out if that'd be better for us, but I think we'll get rid of a 9 now and just see what happens with that. We can always get rid of a 6 later as well. And we were planning on doing that. Even though calls for 9s again. Alphabetical order. Okay, well we got the 5.
Riichi.
Let's see what we can do with this. So waiting on 4-7. I see a lot of 4s out. 2 4s, A7. So not the best of things, but we're the dealer. If we're not putting pressure on the board, then we're not doing our job correctly. Not that I think Aiden cares about pressure, and not that they seem to care at all about that. So I'm just going to take my win, and, you know, they can chalk that one up to experience. Not a high value win, but I get to be dealer again. And we slowly crank the hand value up a little bit. Besides which, it doesn't matter how expensive your hand is if you don't win. Okay, should have played the other south there rather than green, but it doesn't matter. One's already gone. Alright, so no real quick hand to be developed from this. But the value is creeping up a little bit. Potentially Pinfu. If I can get the 8s, that helps me out on that. He reckons he had to go for it, but, you know. Okay, that's a reasonable sequence now. So we got multiple middle things we can fill in. Getting rid of the east is a bit of a shame, but we weren't likely to be getting that one finished at this point anyway. Drawing a 4 gives us a free-sided weight on the Manzu side. Another 5, which may or may not be helpful. Gives us a pair, and if we get the 8, then that still gives us a pair run. So West does not help us. Does apparently help Chiral, who also doesn't have that suit. Well, isn't sitting there, so he called that rather quickly. Half flush or just killing off the Nageshi. Nageshi's a weird hand, which it's something to be aware of, but don't ever go for it because it never comes off. If you discard only terminals, 1s and 9s. Oh, now I have no idea what you're doing. Alright, let's toss for 9 here, because we got into a Tanyo situation. We can call tiles and get around things that way. We have an extra Dora. And we're the dealer, so we are best placed to make advantage of additional value being on the board.
Chi.
So yeah, this is a little bit of a strange one, but we are going to attack this, even though we only got Tanyo Dora. Because I reckon that's going to be easier than whatever the heck he's going for, which is triplets.
Chi.
The way to defend against triplets, discard things that are on the table. And he's Durasumos. Alright. 3,200. I knew it wasn't that valuable because he hadn't done anything at this point. He could have had a triplet and put it up to Freehan. But Tanyo, multiple Dora, that was worth attacking it. Especially as there was a chance he would go for... have to go for that. Besides which, there's nothing wrong with cheap hands. Absolutely nothing wrong with going for cheap hands, because they're more likely to come off. Besides which, Aiken doesn't know how to build expensive hands. Time for some psychological warfare. quite a lot, I imagine. Alright, so if we can drop a 2, we're in an Peiko waiting on the 3, which would be fine. Gonna get around that point, and needs to call the Khan. Alright. Or now we just hope we can draw that 2 and call a reach on this. That was also a Dora. Open Khans are a bit of a weird thing in this game, but they do not work. Alright, so that's Dora 3. That is a little concerning. Draw the 1 or the 4 ahead of time. I can do Dusty Peiko, wait on the 2 so. Kairo's looking to attack and win quickly, and he might be waiting on that 8, so I'm actually going to fold here and get rid of my 1s. So I don't want to discard Manzu into him. He might well be on a triplets hand as well, in which case discarding the pairs is the best way to defend against that. Alright, we see an ace on the table already, but we'll hold off for a turn or 2. We also have 2, which is safe against him, which is probably what we're going to get rid of next. Eight's safe, East is probably safe, and Rise picks up the win, which is Dora 4. Puts him into the lead. Bad Rise? I don't think so. That was a good hand. Can't begrudge him his Mungan. It was actually Hanneman rather than Mungan because he went enough in his hand to upgrade that another step. But no, if somebody's showing a Mungan on the table, you've got to at least, you know, be somewhat aware of that. Let's get rid of the 1-2 here. We're leaning a bit towards Tanyo at this point. Says the person trying to do things. We're not on tilt. We're not that much on tilt. I've actually been playing reasonably well, so I can't say I'm on tilt at all, really. Alright, that's a good draw. Unfortunately, that's the for a 10 answer, so I'm actually going to toss that. So this is, again, my philosophy on if you make a mistake, just don't try and counter it. If I'd have kept that and then been on a 2-5 wait later, which could easily have happened with the rest of this hand, it would have led to some problems. Okay, so I'm just going to get rid of the 4 as well. So we got an option for Tanyo double Dora with yeah, I'm actually going to go for this. This may not be the right move, but we got Tanyo options. We got 2 Dora in hand. Potentially Dora 3 if we get this 6 called. Only problem with that, of course, is the fact that this would then be awkward. But we can definitely take the Tanyo. I mean, that's possible, but this is an online game. There are limits to what you can do in an online game. Alright, in calls. So ideally we need to draw a 5, actually. Just put ourselves into a 2-side weight on the other side. Although 5 now puts us for a 10 with this 4. Yay for 10 traps. can't call that because if I did, I wouldn't have a Yaku anymore. So this wasn't the easiest thing in the world to have gone from that. I don't know, I'm as confused as you are on that one, Hagen. If I draw a 5, I can just dump a Dora and go that way round. But dumping a Dora now would be awkward. This is not a good idea. It passed. Right, now the reasoning there was a Suji. It was the only chance I'd have to get rid of it. And as it happens, it was the correct call. So that is Tanyo Dora. That was fairly fortunate. That should not have worked out as well as that did. But if you're in tempo, you have a chance at it. It was an attacking play. Could have gone worse. Well, they do that if you run out of time. The timer does force you to make some quick decisions. Alright, I'll play West for the moment. It's also probably going to be the last game of the night. Because it's now approaching midnight. But we'll see how it goes. I might be convinced to do one more. No. You can't, sir. Because you don't own Mahjong tiles, as far as I'm aware. I actually do, so I could. I don't want to. One more, one more. Una mas. Okay. Una mas it is. So we're dealer if we win from this. And that's actually looking quite nice for us at the moment. Building up towards a possible Itsu. We have Green Dragon as a backup. In fact, I think we're in Tempai if we call it at this point. Toss the...
Riichi.
Alright, White Dragon's safe. 8's also safe against Kairos, so we got that plan. Alright, we'll go for it. So we're now in a 5... So only no, didn't matter. So dealer Riichi Sumo plus Dora 7800. He now will take the lead with that. We're in South round, of course, so it gives us a pair of East, which is always what we want. Just because of how the hand is laid out at the moment. We'll go with this way. Because nobody's watching at that point. Alright, I would be tempted to call that, but we don't have a half flush or anything else developing. And now we have 2 safe tiles if we want them. I probably shouldn't have got rid of the 1 there. Red Dragon maybe was our best option. We'll see. Too many cocktails or not enough. This is probably a correct answer. Alright, that's a reasonable tile. We're up to 4 pairs. Are you telling us not to drink cocktails, or are you saying you don't? Either way, silence. Alright, so potentially we got 7 pairs Dora Dora. North, north, okay. Just trying to see if that was a better one from there. And we're not going to call at this point. Because we got the potential to make this a double Dora 7 pairs, we're going to go with this. First of all, he needs to grab a Tiki head. Well, that just means you haven't made it properly, sir. Yeah, we're messing with the fact that Aiden can't actually hear us, or shouldn't be hearing us at this point. But, you know, Tiki Head is definitely what he needs. There was a pub well, it wasn't a pub, it was actually a bowling alley restaurant, which had a cocktail served in a Tiki Head glass, and it was the zombie. You were only allowed one zombie. It was volcanically strong. 3 types of rum in there. It was awesome. And then they moved it from the place we normally stay in the same sort of hotel when we're in London. They moved it. Oh, 2 was the limit per person. Alright, fine. But still, they limited it anyway. I don't think it was the cost. But it did have some absinthe in it, as well as all of the rum. I could have made a triplets hand out of this. I shouldn't be so insistent, but I am being. 5 and 6 even possible? Yeah, they're possible. So's the red, actually. It's fine. We're in South. We are the dealer next round. We can afford to wait. We'll also probably not be calling this at this point. Now I just feel we're going into random nonsense at this point. I've got something with gin and something. Indeed. As long as we work out what the somethings are, we can make it. Alright, last draw to try and hit Tenpai.
Riichi.
Also, all the 5s are gone. He also does a last turn reach, which can potentially lead to some hilarity. I'm almost tempted to kill this. Yeah, I'm gonna kill that. He's not having his Ipatsu Haite. As it is the absolute cheek to somebody to just pull off last turn reach, draw the winning tile for Haite. No, we're not accepting any Ipatsu Haite. Well, go, sir. I'm sure your automatic AI playing won't actually make a difference. That might be a little mean, but some of the things we've seen him do this stream. Meanwhile, our hand's looking okay. Pretty standard for Pinfu, possibly an Ipeko here. No Dora, unfortunately, but White Dragon there. 5 would be an okay draw. Get rid of that. I suppose we've got an outside chance of the 3-4-5 Sanshiki. We're about to find out because I have an yeah, we'll see. Be right back. We'll find out. If I draw the 3, that gives me that. That's useful. So I've got a potential increased chance. Well, it depends. He might have gone for the auto discard, which is a thing he can set up. There is one of these buttons is discard everything you draw without pause, so that it's used to try and mask the fact you're in Tenpai. Could have called that and taken Tenpai, actually. That might have been a better route. Alright, we're looking at 2-3-4 Sanchiku now. Well, we'll see. I know one of those buttons does it.
Riichi.
Okay, reach. Potentially reach Tanyo Sanshku. This is a Mungan if it comes off. What damage has been done? I've declared reach, sir. Safe tile against me.
Home.
Aiden starts calling.
Riichi.
2-5. Nope. Haite. Nope. So I had a 2-5 Sanshku. He had a pair weight. So I had the better weight. And he remains dealer, which is probably slightly more important to him. But that wasn't a good pursuit reach, actually. If he needed points, it'd be worth it a little bit more, but that seemed like a bit of a desperate one. When he doesn't need to be desperate. Aegon probably does. But he's on 85,000 points. 8,500 rather. Okay, that's a good draw. I guess we get rid of this closed weight on the middle here. I know I could draw quite a lot of tiles to improve that, but the rest of it's kind of set up. Only problem is all the 9s are gone from that side of the weight. Yeah, I think actually we do get rid of the 8-7 here. Just because all the 9s are gone. You are deep in the points, well, sir. But I came back from 0, so it's enough. You're not doomed yet. I was half tempted by an idea there. Maybe I'll do it if we continue on. But I noticed I have 2 free pairs of 4s. Which is San Shakadoko, which is the 3 triplets of the same number.
Riichi.
That means it's less likely I'm going to be going for that, of course. Toss for 9. I'm more likely going for a 2-3-4 Sanshku again. 4 is a Suji, so there's a chance that'll work. 4 I know is a safe tile, so
Chi.
well, he decides he wants to attack. Plays a live dragon. He's doing so many things that you definitely should not do in this situation. Well, if you're tilt, there's still a chance you'll get it because Aegon's doing things. Self-drawn. So that was the paid off, gets the 4, and he remains the dealer. Okay, free hand hand, 6,000 points, plus the dealer repeats. So this is on 4 now. He's actually pulling quite heavily away, and I might need to try and do something here. He's in a strong position, it has to be said. Alright, this is a good starting hand. Again, Pinfu Sanshku is a thing that could potentially happen. If not, we got Pinfu and Tanyo as easy backup plans.
Boom.
Alright, we're going to look to the Pinfu at this point. So we still need something paired up, but other than that, everything looks okay. Obviously, we did have the pair of 7s, but that's the edge of our run, so might have been better to go for something else. Okay, 6 is a good draw. Let's get rid of our 2-4 here, because we need to get a hand. Yep, you were doing amazingly well. I mean, your interactions with the controls had nothing to do with what you were viewing on screen, but you were doing amazingly well. That was fun. That was fun. Alright, so I'm technically Tempai for a 6, but I can't do anything with it. No, I don't want if I'd have... See, it's a bad reach, but if I'd have taken it, I'd have won. I know you were. I know you were. I've always been tempted to let you get away with it, but, you know, I was actually paying attention to what was going on. Alright. Double pair weight. Is that better? I think it is, but only on the basis that it's really dodgy to discard a 7 in this position.
Riichi.
Well, so that text is too long to fit in the chat box, so I'm going to say no. No, Aegon. Aegon can go into timeout for a little bit. That message is too long. You can have 10 minutes of timeout. 10 minutes to concentrate on the game. I actually didn't read it. That was probably an okay message, but, you know... Yeah, this is not a good way. At best, I've got 3 outs, and even then, they're not outs that most people would play into a reach anyway. 7s. I guess if I'd not declared a reach, actually, I might have been much better off just holding things back.
Boom.
Carol's going to attack it anyway. Too safe against him.
Boom.
Rise wants a piece of it, though. 6 is safe on the left, but Aegon now decides he wants to attack. Because people have not learned what reach means, and 2 calls from Badila means. They mean you probably do not want to be attacking. So, yeah, that's me dealing into a big thing. That was a good hand. Alright, this game could very much be over here. That being said, I've got another Sanjiku. I don't know what it is, but I've had loads of these so far this game. Yeah, so that was all 1s and honors. 1s, 9s and honors, which is 2 Han. Plus triplets, which is another 2 Han. Yeah, that was a good hand. Dealer Hanneman. And now I really need this to pay off. I've got some outside chances of doing some stuff with this, though. We'll see. Alright. 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 I have a plan. Suanko or bust. Suanko or bust. If I draw another Tuso, that'd be perfect. That gives at least Sananko and Tenpai. But I'm looking at Suanko here. I feel the time is now. Or we just go Tanyo with stuff. Tanyo with stuff. That time is now. Especially as I can con a couple of things. If I'd have discarded the other thing, I'd have been fine. That would have given me 2 pairs. That would have set me up for the thing, but I hedged. I hedged. I had the T4 as well. This could have been Daisangan. Sorry, not Daisangan. Suanko. I'm thinking of the other Yakuman I messed up. Well, we're not tilting, but I can hardly say we're playing well now. I'm on 4,000 points. I am looking for the big win. And Kyrill's still greedy. That might give me a chance. But I need to draw that or that now to keep this going. Alright, that's the last one. I can take the Tanyo. No, I can't. My thought process was I could take the Toy, but actually I can't because I have to get rid of this 5 now. Which just is not safe on this board. My best bet is still probably to get some cards here and just then pull off a big reach. Ones are gone. Oh, I did not think that through, but yeah, it was fine-ish. If he was waiting on the Manzu, that would be his last one. So he's on a half-flush plan. Alright. Fortunately, Aegon overcalls that, which is a problem, but it was Dora free. This now means I can't actually do anything with this at all. And you might want that too, actually. No, I can't do anything with that. Nah, I think this is going to be a case of let's deny Kyrill some draws and see what happens. I mean, I can't draw the last 2 because they're both gone, so hitting Tenpai is not going to be easy from here. Now, Tenpai. 6-man gets me a win. I was about to say, don't play into him there. But that's fine. The only reason I did that was to deny him a draw, because on his level of jam, that's that was going to be the end of me. Okay, South in South round, with North being the thing. This is an okay hand, and hopefully we've managed to steal a bit of momentum out of Kyrill here. What we need to deal into is a reasonably big hand from us. You know, that Yakuman I was trying to build last hand, that would have been perfect. Okay, let's get rid of the 8-4 for the moment. And see, I think this is now definitely going to be the last game, by the way. It's just, it's now midnight, and also the game has been in South 1 for quite a while. Yeah, get rid of the 4 here. So what are we thinking? I'm thinking I would have loved to have drawn that, and that's a problem. All right, we'll get rid of that now. Again, trying to correct my mistake by just, you know, not making another mistake out of it. It looks bad. It does, but trust me, that could have been worse. It was worse. So, Ipeiko. Ryan Peiko would be fine. I could do Ryan Peiko from here. Or failing that, go south into a Chanter. Double south, Chanter. Nonsense. Or even potentially take that open. It also looks like I'm in a Manzu Honitsu, which looks not bad from this perspective. Not going to call that. I have my plan. It's not a good one, but we have our plan. Or potentially just look like you're on for a Kokushi of some kind. Ryan Peiko is on. So if I draw that 2 or that 1, I have Ryan Peiko, Chanter. This could be a really big hand.
Riichi.
Okay, Riichi, Ipeiko. Not much else going for this. This is actually a really cheap hand. I shouldn't have attacked this, but I could have waited a turn. I'm going to draw the 4 now. That's me partially tilting. But I reckon I'm going to draw the 4 now, just to balance this out. Or, you know, that could happen. I'm probably out from that. Nope, it's cheap. Okay. Staring down last place still at this point. Havador Dragon. Let's get rid of the Indicator Dragon for the moment. Yeah, this is going to take a monumental counter-attack. But yeah, I messed that up because what I should have done is just keep the possibility of Ryan Peiko alive. I know it wouldn't have made a difference because he would have won anyway, but the correct decision there was to keep the possible open. I mean, I'd have lost Chanter, but I could take losing Chanter for Ryan Peiko, which is worth 3. So value-wise, it was still better. And there was always the possibility that the thing would still come off. I'll just get rid of the 4 later. So this situation, I'm not calling things. I'm just looking to get a hand finished. So Kyrol is just trying desperately to finish somebody off. Me in this case, because I am actually lowest. I'm actually going to get rid of Adora Dragon now because I don't think we're going to be able to do much with that. Oh, Kyrol's going to be top of the league at this point if we're not careful. I mean, I've won and then gone last, so I'm almost definitely losing points on this deal. But yeah, I've gone last, first, last, so not good on my point of view. But this hand looks okay. If I can get this to Tanyo as well, 2 reds. Possibly get some carnage going on, which is unlikely, but at this point we just need something to happen. Also, those 4s are unlikely. I just realised. I need Chiral off his dealer spot, and I need to preferably get some points here. I can finish third if Aegon wants to deal into him, but... Okay, E-Peiko has been earned. How do I best do this? I think get rid of a 2. I know we got an outside chance, but there's still a 4 left, so I've got to consider that. Can't call that. That gets rid of our E-Peiko. Can't call that. Alright, we got the 2. So it lowers the hand value, gives Aegon some points, but... One from Tenpai. 3 would be fine. It's into a 2-sided weight, although that would be for a 10 2-sided weight. See, mistakes are creeping in. And that's twice he's discarded what would be my eventual winner on this line. So I might have to discard 4. If I draw a 5, that would be fine. I'd have a 2-sided weight at least.
Riichi.
Reach, E-Peiko, Dora, 5. It's not a good weight, but I don't have a lot of good options right now. And also there were basically no 4s left.
Riichi.
As I'd rather gamble on it. You got the red 5 as well. Alright, well, that's going to secure second place and give me the dealer turn. So, Mungan changeover, plus all the bonuses that are in the middle. 2 reach 6, 7,000 on the points there. I now move into second, which I'm going to take all in all. North to start. Well, you should have gone for bigger hands.
Home. Come.
So I've noticed Daisangan possibility, but he has discarded red. I mean, the hand's not terrible. 4 gets me to Tenpai at least, and I can try winning from there, but... I could have a go with it, but no. Self-drawn, and that's going to end the game. Nope, not quite. Unfortunately, do I fall behind him? No, I don't. Okay. So, pretty much any win required here. Well, again, he could have waited. Actually, he couldn't have waited in that instance. He drew the tile, so, you know. You can choose not to take the winner from somebody to try and prioritize. Oh, this is a huge hand. Okay. So, half flush, door of 4 is what we're looking at here. This actually could be fairly substantial if I could hit Chiral with it. So, maybe we're going to show Chiral something about targeting.
Home.
Mind you, Chiral's calling everything, so I don't know whether I'm going to get the chance, but... Alright, go for lower end. We're still looking at the half flush here because we need to be greedy. Need to direct hit Chiral with a couple of big hands.
Home. Home.
It's giving me nothing but Sozes, as I decided I was definitely going the half flush here. There you go. The game is now just taunting me. That's what I've decided.
Riichi.
Alright, Chiral with a... Rise with a reach.
Home.
Where Jagan decides to call. At least have a safe tile there. Four should be safe. But it's not guaranteed. Alright, well that's looking okay. Not quite there yet, but... Oh, I have a Khan here. No. However, this is now 258, isn't it? Yep. 8. Well, 2, 8 anyway. Or east. But I have Dora 5 in this hand. Half flush Dora 5. I wish I had the extension here. Two 8 from Chiral. How likely am I to keep this going? Okay. Well, I knew that was safe against him. Okay. Somebody's up. Oh, for God's sake, Aegon. I had Doris. I had half flush Dora 5 in hand. Oh well, so much for that plan. I am slightly annoyed at that. I'm always annoyed when that happens.
Home.
Well, we're in South 3. I need 2 hands to go. And I need... Well, I'd probably just take a few points here. I was hoping to take second, but I'm gonna now just go to try and end this game, I think. I don't think I can Uno Master at the moment. Alright, sevens, we'll get rid of that. It is. There.
Riichi. Sumo.
Well, that's game. I'm just happy to evacuate that one. Kyrol takes the win with a plus 82, which isn't the record, but feels like it should be. And I'm going to record the scores as such. I wouldn't be surprised if he's on top with that, in all honesty. But thank you for joining me. That was a bit mad. Again, we're not going to get into why that was awful, but we will later. Anyway, I will catch you all another time. Tomorrow I am